When you read about the Day of Judgment in Islamic scripture, it's often described as a time of just cosmic upheaval and terror. But, for a certain group, the righteous, it's a moment of deep peace and incredible honor. So, what sets them apart? That's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to explore the journey of the righteous on that final day, from who they are in this life to the rewards they receive in the next.
The story of that day starts not with chaos, but with this incredibly beautiful, direct address from God. It's a personal call to a specific kind of person, the soul at peace. And it's a promise not just of safety, but of contentment and an immediate welcome into paradise. This really sets the stage for a story that's not about fear, but about a final, triumphant homecoming.
So that's the big question, right? What exactly defines this soul? Who are these people, and what did they do to earn such an unbelievable honor on the most important day in all of existence? All right, Section 1, the soul at peace. Let's really get into the identity of the righteous, which, as you'll see, is defined by a really clear set of beliefs and, more importantly, actions.
So what does this identity look like? Well, it's built on a foundation of sincere belief that's backed up by action. These are the people who worshiped God and God alone, who made sacrifices purely for His pleasure, who stood up for their faith, shared its message, and actually lived by what God commanded. It's a total, all-in commitment that shapes every single part of their lives. Okay, on to Section 2, spared the supreme horror. The very first reward for that commitment is this profound sense of calm on a day that for pretty much everyone else is defined by absolute terror.
And this term, the supreme horror, it's not just a casual phrase. The scripture uses these specific words to describe the absolute mind-shattering panic of waking up on the Day of Judgment. That is the baseline emotional state for humanity, but not for everyone.
And the contrast here is just wow, it's night and day. While the wrongdoers are facing that horror, seeing hell itself, standing in scorching heat, the righteous are completely shielded from all of it. They feel peace, and they're literally shown heaven before their judgment is even finished. It's an immediate, profound separation of experiences. And this verse just drives that point home. They aren't just untouched by the chaos, they are actively welcomed by angels. I mean, can you imagine hearing those words? This is your day. A direct confirmation that the reward you were promised, it's here. It's real.
Now for Section 3, in the Lord's shade. See, beyond just being spared fear, the righteous are given the ultimate honor, being brought close to the divine.
And this is what's described as the absolute peak of joy. Their faces will be radiant, literally glowing with happiness. Why? Because they are granted the sight of God, an honor that's reserved for the most blessed. It's a direct, personal encounter that is the source of all their bliss.
But it's not just a spiritual thing, right? There's a very real, physical aspect to this honor. On a day when the sun is described as being unbearably close, God Himself provides shade, the only shade in existence. This is both a huge act of mercy and a public declaration of just how special these people are.
And the beautiful thing is, this incredible reward isn't tied to some abstract, impossible task. The text connected to very specific, very human actions. This shade is earned by those who loved each other, gave to one another, and visited each other, not for any worldly gain, but purely for the sake of God.
All right, Section 4, a guiding light. This is a really fascinating concept. In the total darkness of that day, the scriptures describe this amazing phenomenon that sets the believers apart. Their faith becomes a personal light.
So this light is called Nur. And you've got to understand, this isn't like a flashlight. It's a divine radiance that literally comes from the believer themselves. It is the physical manifestation of their faith and their good deeds from their life on earth.
I mean, just try to imagine that for a second. This verse gives us such a powerful image. You can almost see them, men and women walking with this light just pouring out of them, shining in front and to their right, a physical beacon that sets them apart from everyone else.
So what's this light actually for? Well, it does a few really crucial things. First, its brightness is a direct reflection of a person's faith. The more good you did, the brighter it is. Second, it cuts through the darkness, lighting up the path ahead. Third, it guides them safely across all the different stages of that day. And finally, it acts as this constant sign of their success, right alongside the good news of paradise. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, an angelic welcome.
Here we see how the angels, who were unseen guardians in this life, become visible friends and comforters in the next.
Just put yourself in that scene for a moment. All the chaos of the day of judgment is happening. And then an angel comes to you and says these words, "Fear not, don't grieve. We have good news of paradise for you. We are your friends." It's a message of absolute comfort that just wipes away any fear and replaces it with pure joy.
And what's so powerful here is the sense that this isn't a new relationship. The angels are basically saying, hey, we were already your protectors in the world, and we're just continuing that job now. They're the ones who will lead you into a place where every single thing your soul desires is finally yours.
So that's the real game changer, you see. The unseen, quiet protection of this life becomes a direct, personal relationship in the hereafter. The angels are physically there, talking to them, guiding them, basically forming this convoy of peace right through the middle of all the chaos.
But here's what's so striking. Even with all of this, the peace, the shade, the light, the angels, even as they're walking towards paradise, the righteous are described as making this prayer. They ask God to perfect their light and to forgive them, which just shows this profound humility even in their ultimate moment of triumph. So, when you look at this whole picture, from the identity of the soul at peace, to the simple actions that earn God's shade, to the good deeds that make one's light brighter, it all brings us back to right here, right now. This future reality is framed as a direct result of the choices we make today. And that leaves us with one final reflective question. How does one start building that light? Today.